Seems like the hot topic within pharmacy are remote positions or work from home jobs. So, I'm going to give you guys a little bit more information on the pros and cons of work from home positions, and you guys tell me, is it worth it? So, if you are going to be working for a company, you're going to have to abide by their rules and regulations for your job position. So, that means that you have to treat this like a real job as if you were going into the office and working. So, being at home doesn't mean that everything is let out the window and you just like kick back and watch TV all day. You still have numbers to meet, metrics to keep up with, and you have to perform in order to keep your job. You're not going to be able to provide full childcare or any childcare because you have responsibilities during the day that you're going to have to take care of, and you can't attend or be all over the place running back and forth, doing a million different things. Also inform your other family members who are not too familiar with work from home positions that you are still working, you're clocked in, you have responsibilities, and that doesn't mean that you could do the laundry, you could make dinner, you could run to the store real quick, go to a doctor's appointment. So being at home doesn't mean that you could completely incorporate all the day-to-day responsibilities that you have within your work schedule. Another important thing is that you have to find a confined space to have as your workstation, which is going to be away from the rest of the living quarter. So have a separate space just for your work desk, and that protects against any HIPAA, privacy, patient information, just quietness as well. And you don't want to have that open out into the public where anyone could just walk in and out and just have access to that information. Other important thing is when you're working from home is to remember to take time for yourself. Remember to get up, walk around, step away from the screens, and eat. So important to forget eating and just like missing meals and like snacking on like unhealthy things. But remember to take time out of your schedule, dedicated time out of your schedule, and just have for that you time to just recoup, just to like start fresh and to just clear your mind. Speaking about self-care, since you're not commuting to and from your job, it's hard to break away when it's time to clock out for the day because you're technically still in front of the computer and you could just get a little bit more done or just like squeeze in a few more hours or minutes or whatever it is. So it's hard to transition from work to home life. Personally, this was one of the areas of working from home that I struggled with because it was hard for me to step away and to just close it down for the night. So I had to physically just unplug the computer and just not touch it until I was ready for the next day. So that was one thing that I had to like work on myself because I wanted to get everything perfect and I wanted to make sure that everything was all set and ready for the next day or prepping ahead and having that mentality or that mindset about coming in early, working late from like other job positions that I had in the past. I guess it scarred me and transferred to like these work from home positions, but I learned really quickly that's not going to work here. Another thing is, since you are working from home, you're not having direct contact or access to others within your company. Either you connect electronically through Teams messages, conversating through the phone, or some type of electronic communication. So you're not going to be most of the time face to face. And that's a little hard for me because I love that interaction. I love being in the office. I love just grabbing lunch or just like having fun with my patients and my coworkers. So that was very different because I wasn't able to have that personal interaction. So you just have to make do with what you have. You have like a work-life balance that you could create with your coworkers or just make it fun throughout the day and just keep yourself engaged with your team. Try to have a consistent schedule where you wake up at a certain time each day and have self-care. Very important to not leave this out of your day to day because you don't want to just roll out of bed in your pajamas and just log into your computer. Start the day a little bit earlier, shower, have some breakfast, clear your mind, and then log in. If you're going to be verbal on the other line, others are going to pick up on that energy and they'll know and recognize that you're not really excited or you're not really fresh or you don't really care what you're doing. So that energy is definitely something that you want to start off with and get yourself in the mindset and prepare for the rest of the day. This doesn't mean every single day you're going to be all up and excited and ready. You're going to have some days where you're not going to be 100% yourself, but having that morning break or that shower, that self-care for yourself definitely puts you in that state of mind. And I don't mean like going all out, lipstick, heels, business outfit, attire, but just wearing something comfortable and just like putting yourself physically in that state of mind will definitely help and prepare you for the day ahead. If you are going to be providing patient care, it's going to be very different over the phone. Think about how do you get your patients to confide in you, to be able to trust you over the phone. You're going to be asking for private information, and you have to be able to be understanding of them, of their reluctance, because you could be anyone on the other side of the phone. So being able to connect with your patients, having that conversation where they could trust you and deliver patient care is really important, especially in a remote position. It seems like I went through a lot of the cons or like the bad part of this, but I promise there's a lot of pros.